We're going to be live soon.
Does it seem slow on your end?
Yeah, it seems slow at the beginning, but I believe now we're okay. You said that my video is also freezing at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but now I believe we are live. Okay, yeah, we are live. I'm gonna mute all of you so we can I can just focus on this, but I believe we're live. I believe if we're live. Okay. Oh. Hello, bonjour, sanbonani. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I believe we're live. If we are live on YouTube, can you please just type a message in there to notify us that we're live on YouTube? But I believe we are. And today, yes, I'll be your host, Nompomele L'Oreal Gunene. Welcome, welcome to Greater Heights Network. And here I am not alone today. I have these two beautiful powerhouse. If I say powerhouse, I mean it. We have this powerhouse speakers, Cynthia Simons and Eric Cabrera. Did I say your name right, Eric?
Yes, yes, you did.
Cabrera.
You got it.
So we have these powerful speakers who's going to share the platform with me today. And thank you guys for joining us. Thank you. I see, we are live on YouTube right now. I see many people logging in on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. And we promise that we're not gonna disappoint you today. So our first speaker for the day, it's gonna be Cynthia Simons or Simons. How do you say your last name, Cynthia?
Simmons. Yeah.
Oh, Simons. Yeah. So Cynthia, she has a story. I remember yesterday after hanging up the phone, I was like, girl, you've got power within you. You've got greatness within you. So today, Cynthia, she's going to share her story with us. It's really, really life-changing and moving. Cynthia, she battled 4 different kind of cancers, and she was fired from 2 jobs and given 6 months to live over 10 years ago. So she went on become an entrepreneur, inspirational speaker, and an author. She's also a podcast host. So the floor is all yours, Cynthia. Just share your story, share your speech, and move people around. Thank you.
Thank you, sweetie. And thank you for inviting me to come and speak to your family, friends, and our neighbors across the water. I am so blessed to be here. If Les was here, he would have just charged me, I think, what, $10 for that. So I'm going to try to avoid doing those. I am honored to be here. I'm blessed to be here. Just as you said, yes, I have battled 4 different cancers. One of them very rare. There was not even a doctor in the state that I live in to treat me. I became a patient advocate. I started to advocate for myself and find doctors across the country that were familiar with this illness. And so what they did was they would call here and explain to the doctors here the treatment process. And it was all research protocol. So it was research protocol for the treatment. And the explanation given to me immediately is we don't know that any of this will work. This is all strictly research. So I became a guinea pig. One of the first cancers that I had cervical cancer, then I got breast cancer. When I got breast cancer, I worked for the city, and the city fired me from my job. Washington State is what they call an at-will state. They don't need a reason or excuse to fire you. And people said, well, aren't you protected through the American Disabilities Act? I probably was. And my focus for me was on my health and my wellness. And I pushed my energy into getting well and not into suing someone. And I remember saying, I don't want to sue for my job because I don't want to work for people that feel that way. So once I got well from the breast cancer, I went back to work, but when I went into my normal work field, which was working at the hospital. And I have my dream job working in the OR. And I thought, oh, this is it. God closed that door because he opened this one for me. And I was so happy. I was like, I've always wanted to work in the OR, the operating room. And here I am. That's when the illness. It's called Langerhans cell histiocytosis. And it is a very lengthy name. And it's just like leukemia, only my white blood cells attack every organ in my body except the blood. You can do 100 blood draws, you will never know. But as soon as you check the organs, that's when you find out. So it took them almost 2 years to even discover what I had. They almost killed me in the process of trying to figure out what is it that you have. And so I'm so happy. I'm working at the hospital and boom, I get sick again. And I thought I was secure at the hospital. I thought they would never fire me. This is a hospital. They understand that people get sick. That's why they have a job. Not true. They needed somebody to be there and I couldn't. And when you go through research treatment, there are a lot of different things that you have to go through. And they're constantly, every doctor wants to meet you. Every doctor wants to know and understand the illness that you have. And so I went through the treatment. I was in chemo Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. till 3 p.m. It was a job. And then I would go back on the following Monday and have a shot that's called Neulasta. And that shot, it's about this big and it cost about $7,000. But when you get it, when you walk out of that doctor's office, you feel like a train hit you. I mean, you can't even touch your skin. It hurts so bad because what it does, it goes into the bone marrow and tries to replenish the blood cells and to rebuild the immune system that the chemo has knocked out. And so what ended up happening is I got toxemia, which is poisoning from the chemo. And I had already lost, so it was both of my lungs, my liver, my spleen, left ovary, hip bone, the ankle bone. The lenses in both eyes have been replaced numerous times. It ate holes in the mastoid and temporal bone of my skull. So I had gone through many surgeries, losing many body parts, chemo to no end, radiation treatment in all these different places from the breast cancer. And so when my doctor said to me that day, Cynthia, it's not good. It's very poor prognosis. You have multi-vital organ involvement with a limited time. At best, this is what he said, at best, 6 months, if that. I would suggest you take a vacation. Go somewhere you've always wanted to go. And I looked at him and I said, I leaned right into him. I put my hands on his knees and I leaned in and I said, you be the doctor and let God be the timekeeper. Because I could walk out of this office right now and get hit by a car. And you said I had 6 months and I died in 6 minutes. And I said, so I don't believe that because a person has cancer, that's what they're going to die from. Or that you have the right to give somebody an expiration date. I'm not a loaf of bread. I'm not a gallon of milk. I didn't come here with an expiration date. And I said, so there's a plan for my life. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm going to follow through and I'm going to let God guide this journey. And I went home that day and I saw squirrels playing outside. I was sitting in my office and I saw squirrels playing outside. And I thought to myself, man, those squirrels don't have a job. They don't pay bills. They don't have a car. They don't have to pay a college education for their children. And they are so happy. Look at them. They're playing. They're chasing each other in the yard. They're playing. They're having fun. And life is beautiful for them. And I thought, why do we as people make our lives so miserable? What do we really need in this lifetime to be happy? And so my focus changed. And I started to think about the things that made me happy and the things that I wanted to achieve and all the things that I've always wanted to do. I love to write. And so I wrote my first book, A Breast Cancer Notification, The Gory Details, What They Don't Tell You. And then I love radio. I love to talk, which is so obvious to everyone who meets me. It's almost like sometimes people have to say, be quiet, Cynthia. So I thought, you know what? I need to go talk and I need to help people. And I need to encourage people. The doctors had asked me, please come in and speak to the people who are on chemo. Because when I would sit in there on my, you have this chemo pole and it's hanging there and you have a port and, they're giving you your chemo and you sit in there all day with these people and you just have conversations. And I would try to encourage everyone that was in there that was getting chemo, don't give up. You have to, your mindset is where it starts. Start with your mind and focus and be clear. And whatever you do, don't let the mind say to you, I have cancer, I'm going to die. Because if you do, it is going to take you. Am I saying that, some people ask me, well, Cynthia, why do you think you survived and other people didn't? Are you saying that other people, if they don't use the same process as you, then they're going to die? No, what I'm saying is there is a plan and purpose for every human life. Your responsibility while you're here is to find out what that is. There is something that you need to do, something that you should be showing or sharing with people. And I had to figure out what that was. And mine was to teach those people who go through tragedies to turn it to triumph, and who go through struggle to turn it to success. And let your test become your testimony.
Wow.
Are we on a delay? I think we're on a delay. Can you still hear me? I can't hear you.
I can hear you.
I'm not sure if she can. Can you hear me, sweetie? Oh, she's muted.
Okay.
In both eyes have been
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
It's so funny because like on my end, I keep on hearing you speaking. It's like it's tracking. Can you hear that on my end?
Wow, I am way past that point. Yes.
You can hear it, right?
From the breast cancer and
Oh.
yeah, it's very delayed.
Yeah, I just don't know. I didn't press anything, but I keep on hearing like, okay, I'm like, okay, there are two Cynthias here. Okay. I am not a tech savvy person. I really don't know what to click. Oh my God. Do you guys know how I can click?
I would suggest you take. So you must have it open in another window. So you have it open on your computer, but you also have it open on YouTube. So it's coming through both. My hands on his knees, and I leaned in and I said, "You be the doctor."
Okay. Oh my goodness.
And let God.
This is so weird. Oh, let me just exit here.
I could walk out of this office right now and get hit by a car. And you said I had 6 months.
Wait.
I don't mind hearing it again. That was amazing.
Okay. I got it.
There
I
you
got it. Oh my goodness.
Good for you. See? This is the mentality. Never give up.
Yep.
Yes, Cynthia, never give up. Never give up. Oh my goodness. Now I can. Okay.
Success is on the other side.
Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Zoom, where are you? Is this Zoom? Okay, this is the YouTube now. Zoom. Oh my goodness. My apology for all this.
No, it's quite okay.
Let me just go back. Okay.
I want to hear about that Blitz 45.
Okay, I'm back. Woo! Oh, it disappeared again. Okay, I don't know. What am
Sounds
I
like a
doing?
great name for a beer.
Okay, yeah,
We have
yeah.
all kinds of jokes about it.
I kind of got so disturbed with the other Cynthia speaking, and then the real Cynthia is also on Zoom. So I'm like, okay, where am I? But we are back. My apology for the inconvenience with the technical challenges I have experienced here. But thank you so much, Cynthia. Your story is really, really life-changing. And when you say you are just Cynthia, then never give up, you really mean it. And thank you. Thank you for sharing. And our next speaker, whew, I'm already pumped. I don't know if you can see the heat here. Yeah, our next speaker is going to be Eric Cabrera. Eric Cabrera is a real estate investor, entrepreneur, TV personality, and Eric has built and sold several businesses. He is on the executive board of 2 nonprofit organizations, and he owns health clubs and is in demand as a motivational speaker. So kings and queens, please welcome, help me to welcome Eric Cabrera.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you.
Yep, awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here. And Cynthia, I really think I should have went first because I don't know how to follow that. That was unbelievable. The strength, the endurance that you have, the persistence. I mean, that was amazing. So thank you for sharing that. So with me, as she said, I do multiple things, wear multiple hats, and everything seems nice and glamorous, but my childhood wasn't that. I grew up in New York, and I grew up in a very dysfunctional household. My father was a big drinker, he was abusive. And growing up, I didn't know that I had any value of self-worth. I didn't know the value of my own self-worth. I didn't believe I was worth anything because it was oftentimes that I was told that I wasn't. I was told that I was worthless. And growing up in that household, I really lived 2 separate lives. I lived a life of what was going on at home, and then I lived a separate life that seemed pretty good in front of everybody. But I also protected myself during that time. I never had any true friends because I would hang out with everybody. The kids in school thought I was the popular kid, but really I did this on purpose. Because if I hung out with everybody and it was weeks at a time that I actually hung out with them, I wouldn't be missed if I was bruised or beaten and I couldn't go out. But when I was 12 years old, I had a defining moment in my life. And I was eating dinner with my mom and my brother, and I heard my father pull up. And I raced to the sink, and I threw my plate in the sink and ran upstairs. And I was almost to the top of the stairs when he walked in the door. And if you could picture walking in the front door, a stairwell to your right, and a hallway into the kitchen on your left. And I was just at the top of the steps, and he called me to come back down. And I froze for a second in fear of what was to happen. So as I turned around to come down the stairs, he was already coming up at me. And the normal process took place. And when he was done beating me, he kicked me down the steps. And I remember being at the bottom of the steps. And when I finally got to my feet, my ears were ringing, my body hurt all over, my nose was bleeding. And my mother was standing in front of me crying, and she was saying something to me. And I couldn't even hear her over the ringing in my ears. And my purest thought as a 12-year-old kid was, I'm going to go in the kitchen, I'm going to get a knife, and I'm going to kill him when he passes out. That was the thought that was in my head because I was at a breaking point. And I didn't know what to do besides defend myself. Well, at that moment, sun came in through the door, and I remember looking at the front door and thinking to myself, I could either go in the kitchen or I could walk out. Well, I walked out at 12 years old. I walked out, I didn't have a pair of shoes on my feet. I didn't know who I was, where I was going, or who I was even supposed to be at that time. So I spent the next 6 months on the streets and finally wound up living in a friend's basement. His mom didn't even know. I did that for about 3 years and wound up getting involved with the wrong people. And spent a lot of time being in the wrong places, surrounded with the wrong people, going to the same nowhere that they were going, and wound up running drugs at 12 years old. I would go pick up a backpack. Every kid in New York has a backpack. So I didn't look out of the ordinary. So I would make my deliveries and did this for about 5 years. And this is actually the first time I'll share this part of the story. But when I was making a delivery, I was on the subway and I was being followed by two guys. And I knew the area very well. And I wound up getting off the train. I went into a Chinese restaurant. I flushed everything down the toilet and I ran. And at that moment, I had a second defining moment in my life where I knew this wasn't me. This wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. I always had a feeling that there was more inside of me. So at that point, I stopped doing it. I bought a plane ticket to Florida. I moved down there. I had $306, never been there, didn't have a place to stay, didn't know anybody. So wound up getting off the plane. I found a place that night, wound up getting a job. And then at that job, when I was 17 years old, there was a gentleman that worked with me. I was doing stock at a Kmart, and he would talk so much. He would talk to boxes. This guy loved to talk. He always had a conversation going on, and it was the same conversation because he didn't want to waste the time starting a new one. I mean, he just genuinely loved to talk. Well, one day he said something. He said, "I love myself. I could either be a victim or a victor." My mindset definitely wasn't that of a victor. I was just existing. I wasn't living. So it really triggered something inside of me when he said that, because I was just living in a no man's land. You know, I didn't have any direction, still didn't know where I was going or what I was doing. So for about a month, I really thought on just him saying that. I kept hearing it over and over and over. And then I decided that I really need to understand the fact that I can be a victor. There are blessings for me. There is a great path in store for me. So what I really learned is the fact that I really needed to love myself, because I didn't love myself. I didn't as a child, and now coming into adulthood, I definitely didn't. I just wasn't happy. So when I finally realized that I needed to love myself, and that's a prerequisite to living a joyful life, I started understanding the value of my self-worth. And every one of us really needs to understand the value of our self-worth, because we all have wants, desires, we have passions inside of us. We might want a new house, a new car, a loving spouse, or even mend an important relationship. But if you don't love yourself and understand the value of your self-worth, you can't do any of that. And if you don't fulfill or understand the values of your self-worth, you won't be able to fulfill those desires, and you'll be left with holes, with voids. You'll be living a sense of life with just a want and no fulfillment. And you'll be financing that way of life with your joy, your happiness, and your fulfillment. So once I realized all of that, it completely shifted my mind and I figured out that I need to look at everything with a positive, with a goal in mind, and what is my motivation for doing it. And a lot of people get caught up in the business sense. You know, like you mentioned, I dabble in a whole lot of businesses, but my businesses are people driven. They're not money driven. Money is a byproduct of what you do. So you really need to find what your passion is and bring purpose to it, because you need to bring purpose to your passion, because your passion has a purpose. And I realized that my job is what I get paid for. My passion is what I was created for. And learning that allowed me to realize that I love myself and I really love people. And through that, I fulfilled a childhood dream. I always wanted to be a fireman. I wound up getting hired on the fire department down in Florida, and I had a very successful career because of the people around me. I learned just to keep my mouth shut and when it was the appropriate time to talk. But my success in anything I do is because of the people around me. So I was able to move into a life of prosperity instead of going down the road that I was as a child. And when you do this, there's so many principles that we need to keep in mind. You know, what's the foundation of what you're doing and why you're doing it? And who are you going to bring this to? And then as you grow and succeed, your level of humility needs to grow with you, because the higher you get in any organization, the more of yourself that you need to give. And as you're moving up, you always want to look back and look who you could pull up with you. And then once you get them with you, what can you do to push them forward and make them successful and really bring prosperity to their life? Because honestly, that's probably one of the most selfish things you could do. And I say that because you will find so much joy in doing that for people. And we all have a past. We all have a story. Some are bigger than others, but none are less important. It just, some take longer to share. So we need to realize that we can find lessons in all of those stories and bring it into our current life and future life. So even with me, when my father passed away, I got a phone call one day when I moved to Colorado after I retired from the fire department. And my aunt called me, it was his sister, and said, your father had a stroke, he's on life support, and he's not going to make it. There's no brain activity and all that. So I said, okay. So I got on a plane and I went to his bedside, and I was truly, because I figured out, I learned that I do love myself and I'm able to love myself and I know my value. So I was able to go sit next to him at his bedside, and I talked to him for 2 hours, and I haven't talked to him since I was 12 years old. And I was able to truly, truly, genuinely forgive him. I told him I forgive him for everything that happened. I forgave him for all the things that he did. I forgave him for the life that he lived, for the environment that he had created at our household. And not only that, I was able to thank him for all the lessons. So many times we're thinking, what do I do? What do I need to do? What do I need to do? But I was able to thank him for the many, many lessons that he taught me what not to do. And sometimes that's even more important than figuring out what to do, because that will take all the opportunity of making those mistakes away. So if you look at what not to do ahead of time, then you can focus on what to do. And it really clears up a lot. So with that, you know, it was amazing opportunity to shed that past and to really accept it and to learn from it, which we can all do instead of living each day in the past. And that allows you to live today with tomorrow in mind. And it really is a phenomenal way to do that. And Cynthia, you obviously do that minute to minute, which seems amazing. But you're able to just go and progress, and you're able to see past all the trials, the tribulations, the struggles that you've had. And now as you're growing to success and you're able to look at those as good opportunities, when you grow and you're wanting to, whatever desire you have and you want to move forward to that, you will welcome those trials, the tribulations, because that means you're uncomfortable. That means you're moving forward. And the more of those you have, the more validation you have that you're on the right path. And a lot of people, once they start doing that, they look at those trials, tribulations as failures. Well, there's no such, the only failure that I believe is when somebody quits. That's when somebody becomes a failure. You might have failed attempts, but that's okay. It's an attempt. You're still working to go forward. You're still working to progress. You're still working towards your goal. So what I like to tell people, if you have failed attempts and you really want this goal, go ahead and fail more. Fail at more attempts of getting where you need to be. Increase your failed attempt rate. If you're only failing once a month, you need to fail once a week at your attempts. And the only time you personally become a failure is the day that you quit. And most people don't realize that when they quit seeking their goal or their passion, they're normally right on the brink of it. And they quit right before it's going to break through. So everybody needs to understand that they do have a value, that you do have self-worth. And when you're able to love yourself, you can love the people around you, you can love what you're doing, and you can love moving forward to your success. I think we lost her. There she is.
There she is. You must be muted. We can't hear you. Oh, there you
I
go.
always
There
mute
she is.
myself and then forget to unmute. Wow. No, that was powerful. That was powerful. The reason why I really want to chase after success, Eric, is because of what you have just told us. You start from zero and you always climb the ladder of success from zero. You don't start from the top to the bottom. You always start from the bottom to the top. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Eric, for sharing with us today. Whew. Now, what else do I really have to share? I'm so confused. I'm like, you guys have just covered everything that that our audience wants to hear. And I can see our audience are out there on YouTube and they are just listening. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Powerhouse. I call you Powerhouse speakers. Thank you so much for being with us today. So if you have any questions towards the speakers, please send your messages on YouTube and then we'll respond at the end of everyone. So I'm gonna be the next speaker and it feels so weird like to introduce myself. I'm like, okay, can someone read my bio and then I'll just come and speak. But today it's just me. I'm just gonna introduce myself and then yeah, I'll share.
Not just you. Not just you. You are amazing. So I don't say just you. You are a beacon of light, sweetie. Absolutely. So not just you, but the amazing you.
I second that.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I know most people, they don't even know where Eswatini. I remember Cynthia, she posted like South Africa yesterday. I'm like, okay, yes, my country is close to South Africa, it's inside South Africa, but I am originally born and raised from the beautiful kingdom of Eswatini, which is just a small country in the southern part of Africa. That's where I am originally from, and I am now based in Canada. Canada is my first home. So my name is Nompumelelo Rial Kunene, and I know most people, they have a challenge saying my name. So I just give them the short version of the real long name, the tongue-tied name. So you can call me Mpumi if you can. And I am a professional speaker, energetic professional speaker, author to Rise to Greater Heights book is a comprehensive 10-year years into greater success while seizing new opportunities. I am also a mentor coach, MC, well known for encouraging many to rise from mediocrity into greatness. And my presentations not only motivates, but it also empowers audiences with a fresh perspective to face their lives and careers. I believe that we are in full control of our own choices. So my title, Rise to Greater Heights, has inspired and empowered many to pursue their professional goals of being go-getters. So I wear many, many hats. I am a certified travel consultant. I am a certified sales manager. I am the CEO of Swati Canadian International. I am also a commissioner for Oath in and for the province of Alberta in Canada. So my everyday message is that your journey to a better person starts with you. Knowing who you are to your core will make you understand that you have everything around you to reach to your full potential. My favorite book, I picked quite a few of the scriptures in the Hebrews 11, Psalms 27, and Psalms 40. It keeps me to rise to greater heights. So please bear with me. I'm gonna share quite a few information with you today before we just wrap up everything, and then I allow our speakers to answer questions and also share their final thoughts on everything. I just want to double check if I'm in the right room here today. How many of you with a raise of hand can say that, Mpumi, I have never ever complained in life? How many of you? I have never ever complained in life. Clearly, I am in the right platform here. You know, sometimes in life we go complaining. That's so funny, complaining about everything. Oh, the weather is really bad today. Traffic was worse than expected. My family drives me crazy sometimes. Oh, the movie was really disappointing. you name it. Though whining can be a way to build an inspiration, it can also keep us from acting. And it gives excuses time to procrastinate from achieving goals. One thing I've realized is that we usually complain in the wake of a negative situation. And we tend to focus more on the problem than finding potential solutions. It is so much easier to complain than to find solutions. Individuals who whine on a regular basis, they are apt to have a bad health. So next time we'll find you complaining that, why do pizzas come in square boxes? Yet they are round. And funny enough, they are cut in triangles. Does it sound like you? Okay, please write this down. Please write down. Chase after success. Chase after success. I know many of you can ask that, how can I start chasing after success, Mpumi? Because I've tried A, B, C, D, and then I failed. So why now? Why do I have to chase after success? And I'm going to ask you the same question. How many of you in this platform can say that I have goals and visions I want to achieve before the year ends? So that's the reason why you'll have to chase after success. But before you chase after success, you will have to know exactly what are you after. The first thing that you'll have to do is to identify your goals. Identify your goals by writing them down. Identify your goals by, you can also save them on your iPad. You can save your goals anywhere where they are safe. But the first thing that you'll have to do, identify your goals, because your goals, they will work as a direction for your for production. So first identify the goals, and then you'll have to be true to yourselves. Be true to yourself, because you were not born a copy. You were born an original. So why do you want to die a copy of somebody else? Many people, they just get caught up in life because they try to please the whole world around them. They try to be somebody else that they are not. So just stick with your vision, with your goals. Be true to yourself. And also you'll have to embrace the transformation. Like if you want to achieve something in life, you end up, let me just put it on a speaker of him. You end up, okay. Yeah, I know, like sometimes in life, curveballs are continually coming our direction, but we just take every challenge as an opportunity to do something better. So you'll have to embrace the transformation and spark your imagination, because at the end of the day, everything is all about the mindset. What you believe, you just become in life. Just focus on bigger goal, even if you have obstacles along the way. I believe that's something that has just helped me as an individual to grow who I am today. And I am not so relaxed because I have bigger visions that are even bigger than myself. In life, you also need individuals who will hold you accountable for whatsoever action you're taking. So you'll have to build that kind of support system, the community around you that you will need along the way, the community that will help you to chase after your success, the community that will help support your vision all the way. You need those people. And you also have to manage your time very wisely, because without time management, honestly, you're just going the wrong path. You'll have to manage everything that you're doing. Like this week, you'll have to have an agenda of, this is what I want to do this week, so I can have a good productive week. Without that, you are just heading in the wrong direction. Another thing that has just helped me to be where I am today, I just decided to stay motivated. Without motivation in life, you will just lack everything, more especially in this pandemic. Everything has just happened. So if you are not that kind of a person who always stay motivated, working from home can be a challenge. Doing something new in your life can be a challenge. Sometimes when that alarm clock goes off, please don't ever hit the snooze button. I know what I'm talking about. Sometimes I'll be like, okay, I'll wake up in the next 2 minutes. I'll wake up in the next 4 minutes. Forever is a long time. So don't ever do that. Just wake up, get going, and chase after success. Zig Ziglar once said that you don't have to be great to get started, but you'll have to get started to become great. And also Les Brown, he also emphasized on that one. On the forward of my book, he said that you don't have to be great to get started. That's how I ended up like writing a book, because I saw that there is something more that has to come out from this COVID-19. I didn't want to be great to get started, but I just wanted to get started to become great. So follow those points that I've just shared with you. You will see a difference in your life. And I know that in life, the way to success isn't always easy to discover, but you can do a lot more than you think. And this doesn't mean that the search is invaluable. It can be tough, yes, and there may be instances of hesitation along the way, but never ever give up on your dreams. Learn how to have confidence in your own dreams and go confident in the direction of your dreams. Don't give up on your heart's desires because somebody else's opinions about you. It's not a true version of yourself. So don't leave yourself in denial that, okay, somebody say that, okay, I'm such a big failure. And you're going to carry that mentality that, okay, I am a big failure. I am not going to make it in life. Just follow your dreams. Just recall this in case you can't find your way through. You can have the drive within you. You can have the drive within you to become what you really want in life. Can you say this after me? I can have the drive within me to become what I really want in life. Can you say it one more time, like as if you believe in your powerful voice? I can have the drive within me to get what I really want in life. You know, it's so funny how my mom and dad gave me this name, Nompumelelo. I know it's kind of like it's a tongue-tie kind of name, but I love my name. You know the meaning of Nompumelelo in my language, and my language is Siswati, by the way, the language of Eswatini. So Nompumelelo in my own language, it means mother of success. So now you can see the challenge why I have to chase after success. It's because my mom and dad, they decided to design my destiny that, you know what, you're not gonna end down there, but you'll have to chase after success. That's the reality about everything. Chase after success at the end of the day. The reality is your journey to be a better person. It starts with you. It really starts with you. Who you are to your core will make you understand you are the only one who can accomplish all of your dreams. Nobody else but you. You can only have confidence in your own voice, and guess what? It will echo throughout the universe. If there is anything humankind has learned about behaviors, is that who you are and will be is 100% down to you. Who you are and will be is 100% down to you. So never ever give up in your life. Never ever give up in your visions. Never ever give up in your goals. Treat every phase towards your visions as an achievement. This is about becoming more in harmony with your deeper self, because you cannot produce in life if you are not true to yourself. How many of you can say that I am true to myself, or I promise to be true to myself from now onwards? Say I am true to myself. I decided to keep my identity. From now onwards, you will see the production in life because you've decided to be true to yourself. You decided to be true to your vision. You decided to be true to your goals. Like I've said that curveballs will be continually coming your direction, but you will see tests as opportunities to learn as you pursue your dream. You need to disregard all the negative attitudes around you that create struggles with your relationships. Letting go of undesirable opinions will help you to turn out to be the best version of yourself, which will help you to heal emotionally and have inner peace. They always say that fake it until you make it in life. That's something I've learned along the way, that, you know what, in order for you to get to the top, you'll have to fake it until you make it. Fake it until you make it as you keep on attracting different conducts of debating towards your dream, and push yourself to keep moving forward. If I may ask you, how many of you have ever woken up not feel like you just feel like I just want to throw in the towel? You know, like you feel like you just can't go you can't go beyond your comfort zone. Like this is it. I can't do it anymore. How many of you? I know, I've been there. And I can tell you that life is really filled with unpredicted twists. And from time to time, the right path to your dreams, the right path to your direction is not always clear. Letting yourself to produce over time is an essential part of life. It is significant to understand that disappointments are just a natural part of life, and fear of achieving hides in our own intuitive. It really hides in our own intuitive. But we will have to understand that we'll have to push ourselves outside of our comfort zones to be where we want to be in life. As Eric and Cindy have already shared different ways on how to chase after success, I believe that you'll have to push yourself outside of your comfort zone from now onwards, because you can't produce in the comfort zone. You'll have to be out of it. How many of you can promise that I am ready? I am ready to do that. I am ready to push myself outside of my comfort zone. Say I. You know, you might have instance when you no longer have faith in your dream. And I know I've been there. I've been there when I felt like, you know, I don't see the light beyond the tunnel. I don't see the light in the direction of my dreams. So I just felt like this was the end of everything. But a key component in rising as an individual is learn to accept your personal accountability. Developing practice, it can take time and replication, but remember that even with the small habits that you are doing in life, it can have an influential increase consequence of life. So you always have to take new habits and new activities slow, which will keep you taking the baby steps in the right direction. Because I believe that honestly, you've been called for greatness. We have been called for greatness as you continue like to trust the way God has just designed you to fulfill your purpose while you are still alive. That's greatness in me. So now you can see that complaining doesn't resolve anything whatsoever. And you cannot produce if you're not true to yourself. How many of you can edit in their lives by complaining each and every day of their lives? Think about of the individuals who wanted to see this beautiful day today, but because their lives is not in their hands, because COVID-19 happened, they couldn't make it. Yet you're here complaining about the toilet seat that man leave up after each and every time they visit the bathroom. Does that sound like you? Yeah. You know, one of our something that I just want to share with you is that like our destiny is not something that we can relax and just let it happen to us. We'll have to be doing something for our destiny. And the purpose is basically like the purpose of after your destiny is that a series of opportunities in your life will allow you to turn out to be the best version of yourself. Decisions are the hardest thing to make in life. That's something I've realized about me. It was so hard like to make decisions. Like if I want to progress from A, B, C to D, it's so hard to make a decision. And your state of mind is the steering power behind the decisions that you make. Nelson Mandela, who was the former president for South Africa, he once said, "May your choices reflect your hopes, not your fears. May your choices reflect your hopes and not your fears." So we need to act on any opportunity given to us with faith. Then we will certainly accomplish the achievement we have imagined our lives. I believe that we are in full control of our own choices. We are in full control of our choices, kings and queens. And the thing that fuels destiny-shaping choices is our state of awareness. Abilities such as courage and endurance can all help transform your destiny, which basically means that if you make the right choices and take the right actions, it may open doors for you. It may really open doors for you. I really want to encourage you by telling you that the world that we live in, it functions inversely. And nothing comes from this world easy. So please don't pay attention to the naysayers. The naysayers are just here to bring you down. The naysayers are here to block your vision. When something poses as an obstacle to you, that situation challenges you to discover the ability to press forward. Actual strength is in the hands of the ones who flourishes, and there is hope for everyone's situation. So utilize this as a marvel to step onto a better view. Just tell yourself that, you know what, the world really needs me. The world needs me to make a difference. But in order for me to make a difference in this world, like Les Brown said, that you've got to be hungry. If you are hungry, I just envision a hungry lion in the jungle. Look at the hungry lion in the jungle. The mindset, it tells him that it doesn't matter what kind of animal came across him. It doesn't matter if you're that elephant or that small squirrel around the jungle. But that lion, the only thing that he sees in his face is lunch. And it's so funny how even the elephants, they already told themselves that when I see a lion, I have to run because I am the lunch for that lion. So that's the mindset that we need to change this world that we live in. That's the mindset that we need to chase after success too. It has to be up here. Once you believe, you become. Please write this down. Please write this down. Resilience to greatness. Resilience to greatness. I really don't know what your goals are in life, and I just don't know what vision that you have for this year. But here is one thing I know about you. There is something special about you. You've got something precious within you. You've got greatness within you. Inside of you, God has put seeds of excellence. Those seeds are supposed to grow and flourish. Many people have become crippled by their past encounters, and some have stepped over other people to get to the top. But I believe that God has a better plan for every one of us. I believe that God has a purpose for us to fulfill while we are still alive. Your objective is what God has designed you for, the reason why you live. With God, I believe that we are destined for greatness as long as we follow his strategy. This is when the road commences, because discovering your gift and following God's idea will show you what the reason for you in life is. You know, each and every time when I feel like I just can't do it, I feel like I don't see the way, I always run into my favorite book in the book of Psalms 27, where it says that the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom I be afraid? When the wicked came against me to eat up my flesh, my enemies and foes, they stumbled and fell. Though war may rise against me, in this I will be confident. One thing I have desired of the Lord, that I may seek, that I will dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life. Behold in the beauty of the Lord, and to inquire in his tabernacle, so that in time of trouble he shall hide me in his pavilion. In the secret place of his Most High, he shall hide me. He set me high upon a rock. If I was at church, I was going to say hallelujah, but we're here. It's so funny, my everyday inspiration, Mr. Les Brown, he once said, if you had to die today, at this very moment, at this hour, what dreams, what ideas, what visions, what abilities, what gifts, and what books will die with you? Honestly, with me, this gave me a sleepless night. Each and every time I keep on playing messages, just gave me sleepless nights. And I am really proud today to introduce Rise to Greater Heights book. This book is born from Mr. Les Brown's everyday inspirational messages. This is a comprehensive guide to turn your fears to greater success while seizing new opportunities. You know, it is so significant that we have a positive mindset, especially under these circumstances. So this book, it has the potential to completely revolutionize every aspect of your life and career. And you can also get this book for a family member or a loved one who just need that inspiration to face the world with a positive mindset. In this book, you'll be able to explore leadership, empowerment, being purpose-driven, coaching, mentorship, mental health, emotional intelligence, resilience to greatness, spiritual growth, and many, many more topics, including single parenting. So this is what Les Brown has just motivated me to do, because I think whosoever said that the sky is the limit was completely wrong. From today on, I, Mpumi Nene, believe that the sky is our point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. Thank you. Whew. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. We are at the end of our video podcast today. Let me just check if someone has just posted questions, and then we will wrap up everything. Thank you so much, Eric. Thank you so much, Cynthia, for being with me today. Can you hear me?
Yes, Eric, I have a question.
Okay.
The gift of gab, Cynthia. Eric,
Yes.
So you're a TV personality?
Yeah, so I do a spot on the morning show here in Colorado, a few times a month called Loving Living Local, and I do a spot called Health and Fitness Fridays. So it's on Fridays, and it's all about general health, fitness, living the best version of you possible. And we just really try to inspire people to, you've been blessed with a body, so take care of it.
It's your temple, right?
Yep. And then I do a segment, the same Health and Fitness Fridays on the morning news as well.
I see. Do you have a podcast or something too?
I don't. I'm actually in the process of starting it. Just not something I ever thought I would do. And then
you have that radio voice. You should be doing that.
It's funny. I've heard that a few times, like, oh, you got the voice of a narrator. Not, even this whole thing it was never on my radar up until this year. And it's just something that really just kind of fell into, and it started taking off.
I have to get you to do my, coming into my podcast. And now, ladies and gentlemen, you have that voice that does that.
I would absolutely be more than happy to do that for you.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Pleasure. No, this has absolutely been great. I appreciate, being able to share this platform with you guys. And I mean, everything you said is so relevant. I mean, both of you really, you gave me a lot to think about today, and just, we do all have greatness inside of us. And, what I always like to do is, if we have them in, I don't know, but I like to take words and break them down into acronyms. I don't know if you guys have ever seen any of my.
I love it. Yes, absolutely.
And even, the small words, like the word big, it really has, you got to figure out what these words have meanings for you. But for me, it means that we are blessed. God's blessings are yes and amen. And when we know that and understand that, we should be inspired. So the B is for the blessings, the I is for be inspired, inspiration. That inspiration should get you excited, to spark a fire in you. And it should really drive you to the G, which is go ahead and glorify him and yourself in all that you do. So you could take these small words and give them big, powerful meanings. And it could really shift your mindset, like you talked about, and how you view things. What's your perspective on it?
It's amazing to me that people don't look at failures and see the success that really is in the failure. So many people see failure as defeat and failing, when actually there are so many lessons to be learned from that. Why did I fail? How did I fail? What choice did I make that caused me to fail? What could I have done different, or what could I have said different, or which way could I have looked that would have taken me into success? And so now you've sharpened iron with iron, right? You find what caused this, and I'm going to go the other direction. And I think when people have, you know, sweetie, I think I was telling you yesterday the story of when I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I was fired from the city. The city manager did not show up to the meeting. You're supposed to have a meeting. Everybody signs the papers. They explain to you what's happened and why. And he didn't show up. And about 3 months later, I signed into my appointment to go for my chemo. And I see in the waiting room the city manager. And there's a lady sitting beside him. And he's looking at a magazine and he sees me and immediately puts his head down and pulls the magazine up. And so I sign into my appointment and I go over to him and I said, hello, Mr. I don't want to say his name publicly. Hello, Mr. And then I said, oh, this must be the Mrs. Oh, hi, Cynthia. Yes. How are you? Oh, my goodness. Yes, this is my wife. And I looked at her and I said, sweetie, please tell me that you're here for a simple mammogram. And she said, no, I have stage 2 breast cancer. And I just went, oh. I took out a piece of paper. I wrote my phone number down and I gave it to her. And I said, if you ever need anything or you just want to talk or there's that moment when you're scared, call me. I'll be there for you. And she said, I'm sorry. And who are you? I said, I used to work for your husband. He can probably tell you later. And then I looked at him and I said, sir, you're probably going to need a lot of time off work to help take care of her. But I wish you both the best. Now, I could have taken the anger from him firing me. But, you know, I tell people all the time, I don't handle light work. I let God do that. I don't. And, you know, one of the girls from the office called me a year later and said, you know what? They fired him. I don't know what the reason was for him being fired, if it had anything to do with, but what I do know is that his wife was diagnosed with breast cancer. I'm sure he had to take time off work. And then a year later, he ends up losing his job. You know, and so, but for me, the path went another direction. I wrote a book. I became an entrepreneur. You know, all of these things. And so people will come into your life and they will bring negativity and they will try to shut you down. But the goal for you is to stay focused and don't let that negative enter your world. And when somebody does you wrong, harboring anger will get you nowhere in life.
It's true.
Harboring anger. I had one of the worst childhoods that anybody could have. I left the country at 16 years old and didn't know where I was going. I had no clue. So harboring anger will get you nowhere. It really is about focusing, getting on that track that you want to be on in life, that track that says, hey, I'm somebody too, I deserve special things too. And not allowing somebody that closes the door for you to say, that's it, you're done. No. Eric, kudos to you for going to see your dad.
Oh,
absolutely. Kudos to you.
It was all God, so you know, he made it happen.
I did the same thing with my dad and with my mom.
Awesome. Yeah.
You have to let that go. It's like,
oh yeah, it's a phenomenal experience within a bad experience, you know.
It really is.
That time. So and it goes back to like what you're saying, the failures or the tough times, finding those lessons in it. You know, we all have those wants and desires, but our faith isn't in our capabilities.
Yeah.
It's in our excuses a lot of times. And a lot of people don't realize that, you know, or they have that conversation, oh, I would love to start a business. I would love to go and do this. But if this didn't happen, or maybe somebody said something, and if you're in that environment, like you said, you know, a tough environment, you really need to look at what you're currently doing. Does it bring you satisfaction, fulfillment? Does it bring fulfillment and satisfaction to somebody else? And then look at the people you're surrounding yourself with. Do they inspire you and build you up?
Bingo.
Or do they negative over you and tear you down? And then really, where are you? Are you happy with where you live, where your current situation? And if you're not, you have the ability to change all those things. You just need to believe in yourself and go out and do it. And so many people waste so much time looking at what other people are doing and comparing themselves to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
The only person you should be in competition with is yourself. Just strive to be a better you tomorrow than you are today. And that will create a natural progression of advancement and success for you.
And you and I both know, you being a firefighter, me working, I worked in the ER, I've worked in the OR. We have seen tragedy come in front of us.
You deal with
And
everybody's worst day.
Yes, everybody's worst day.
They don't call you to say hello.
No, and it seems like those people they're thankful, but they're kind of not thankful always. You know,
Sure.
Sometimes you see the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
But those are the people who reach out to help others.
Mm-hmm.
And you do it out of the kindness of your heart, because you love people, because you want to help people. That's when I see nurses and firefighters. My daughter is one of the top cops here in Seattle. And, you know, I see her out there fighting in the streets every day to protect people. She's not there because of any political issue.
Right.
She seriously loves and wants to help people and do the right things. And when I see firefighters, nurses, police officers, it really is the people who want to help others and stretching their arms out. And those people will go on and do things like what we're doing. And it's not about lining the wallet, right? Because nobody lined our wallets when we were doing that. No. We seriously were helping people. And so when you find people who seriously, honestly, from the heart, not lining the wallet, I'm seriously here to help people, those are the people I want to surround myself with. I do not want to be associated with the ones that are the high and mighties and look what I'm doing and oh my God, and I've accomplished this and I've accomplished this and I've lined my wallets all the way through. And yes, that will come naturally, and it should. When you're doing the right thing, God will line your wallet. It's a byproduct. Have no fear.
Yeah. No, the world, it really needs all of us, guys. It just needs to make a big difference out there. Thank you so much. I'll just give you feedback from the YouTube audience. They say that was a powerful conference that we just had here. And yeah, most of them wonderful session from Langa's, powerful session from C. James Vlogs. They really appreciate. They didn't have any questions. I was still looking for questions. So I'm just gonna go off from the live on YouTube now and